Hey, welcome back to On the Level Leadership. I'm Tammy, and I'm a leadership and career coach that wants to help you be the best you that you can be. So, one thing I can tell you is that when you're trying to make major shifts and changes, fear can really grind you to a halt in your progress. Because fear, whether you like it or not, can have us do things like listen a little too much to the inner critic, maybe procrastinate, maybe not take that action because of that fear. And I got to tell you that, you got to lean on things. You got to lean on a coach or a friend or a mentor or maybe even a book. So in this episode this week, I'm going to share with you 3 books that have actually helped me in my transitional process from being an employee to an entrepreneur. All right, so thanks for joining again this week. I really do appreciate it. And I do have 3 great resources that I am either currently reading, have read, or are rereading that have really helped me look at really shifting my mindset. Now, there are a number of really great books like Inner Size from John Assaraf is a great book, for example. But these are the 3 that I personally, for this year at least, really want to promote because I feel like they really helped me fine tune what it is that I'm doing, how I'm thinking, maybe even some of the practice that I'm taking on a day-to-day basis. So the first book I want to bring up today is this book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. I have by the way, I have the link for all of these books down below, and they are affiliate links. But just so you know, they are down there if you decide you want to procure the books yourself. I've made it easy for you in the description down below. But this is the Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, and of course, this image is really funny because you can find that everywhere on the internet. If you want to talk about taking a leap of faith, there's always like a fish jumping out of a fishbowl. But, where is your fishbowl now and where do you want to go? The Big Leap is great because it talks about your zones of genius. It talks about really exploring what you love, what you're good at, what people ask you to do, and kind of really fine tuning. It helps a little bit with that sort of niche discussion, when you talk about what's your niche and niching down, whether it be on YouTube or whether it be as a coach or whether it be as a business, what is your specialty? And everybody has their own little secret sauce, right? We all come to the equation with slightly different genius, whether it be because of our experience, our expertise, our learning, our attitudes, our personalities, whatever it is. There are certain things that you are better at than other people. And it's that genius zone that Gay Hendricks talks about really leveraging if you want to take that next leap into something that's a little more fulfilling. He has what's called a success mantra in here. He talks about, what you can tell yourself on a regular basis, how to develop your own success mantra so that you can live by that mantra on a daily basis. He addresses the concept of fear and, whether the discussion around, what are you committed to? So actually, John Assaraf talks about a really interesting story about when he was a young man and his mentor at the time, whose name escapes me right now, asked him a simple question. You want to do these things, you want to achieve these goals. Are you committed or are you interested? And, John Assaraf was like, well, what's the difference? And he's like, well, if you're interested, you'll make excuses for not moving forward. And if you're committed, you'll do whatever it takes to get there. So Gay Hendricks kind of refers to that a little bit, not directly in that way, but he talks about that sort of what's your level of commitment and what are you willing to do in order to be able to get to that next level and be able to secure your big leap sort of thing. Talks a little bit about faith in here and his experience in this process. So, and then how to get specific with what your upper limits are. And he talks about upper limits and how we all have like an upper limit or a ceiling, if you will, that we need to learn how to break through, because once we reach our upper limit is usually when we start self-sabotaging ourselves. So it's a little book. It's a quick read. I really liked it. I thought it helped me quite a bit in sort of rethinking some of my, self-talk. And it's not necessarily a super life-changing book, but it definitely has nuggets in here that can really help you when you're trying to make a big shift. So the next book is this one here by Dr. Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Now, Dr. Joe can be for some folks a little out there. He talks about the fact that we live in a Newtonian world, and he talks about how we need to think in a very different way, that if we want to access what's called the quantum field, which is the field of creation, that we have to do certain things and act in certain ways and change our mindset. He comes at it, though, with a scientific background. And so I think I really do appreciate his scientific background as a neuropsychologist, I believe he is. He has a Bachelor of Science degree in neuroscience. He's a doctor of chiropractic medicine, but he has continued his education in neurology, neuroscience, brain function, chemistry, cellular biology, memory formation, aging, and longevity. The thing that I like about Joe is that he attaches things like how MRI scans change when certain meditative practices are used. He talks about alpha and beta and delta waves of the brain, and how when you want to create or manifest something in the future, you have to enter into certain brain levels or brain waves in order for that to happen, because that's when you basically align with the quantum field. Now, some of this can seem really out there, but what I love about this book is it's really about shifting the mindset from being a victim of the world around you and essentially being reactive to the world around you, and rather being proactive. And one of the things that Dr. Joe Dispenza says that I really love is the notion that the best way to predict the future is to create it. So it's not to sit there and wait for the future to happen to you, but rather look at the world and what's happening for you and how you can use that to help propel yourself forward. This is about changing your mindset. This is all about shifting the way you think, how you think, and changing some of your practices. So one of the things that he recommends is a certain level of meditation. And as you can see, I'm still in the process of rereading this book. I've read it already and I'm rereading it now. And it's really about learning how to, quiet the mind, but not really quiet it as much as it's just about getting yourself to a place where you can settle the mind in such a way where you can start creating your future by envisioning what you want in life. And it's not magic. It's really about creating a sense of focus for yourself so that your day-to-day activities will align. And it's kind of like using the law of attraction in a sense, is attracting by getting yourself into a certain frequency. You're able to attract the things that you really are desiring or wanting. Now, that said, it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't require effort, because if you talk to any other gurus, whether they be the John Assarafs or the Jack Canfields or the Tony Robbins of the world, they'll all tell you that you can create a dream board all you like, but if it's just a series of pictures on the wall and you've taken no action, you're never going to get that. And although I have ordered the book, The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, I've been following Mel Robbins pretty frequently on YouTube, and I actually have her channel down below if you want to click on it to check her out. If you've never heard of Mel Robbins, you need to go to her website and to her YouTube channel. She has nuggets of information that are immensely helpful in terms of changing how you think about things and how you reframe things. She talks about procrastination being a habit, and you have the habit of being a procrastinator, and the reason why you have a habit of being a procrastinator, how you can overcome that. So I wanted to put something in this video related to Mel Robbins, because what I've seen of her online and what I've watched on her YouTube channel, I think she's just an amazing human. And once I've read the book, I'll be able to give a more confident review, but I won't do that now because I have not read her book yet. So the third and final book in the trifecta of books that have really helped me and spoken to me this year that I wanted to share with you is Playing Big by Tara Moore. Tara Moore's book, Playing Big, while can be read by both genders or someone who identifies alternatively, there's a lot of nuggets of information for anyone in this book. I think, though, that she really focuses on the experience of being a woman historically in the past, let's say 20 to 40 years, how we've held ourselves back from our potential. Women weren't necessarily, quote, bred to be leaders. We've been bred to be followers and nurturers. And I'm really passionate in the belief that they're not mutually exclusive. Leadership is about nurturing other people. And it is about embracing ourselves as whether we're women or men or what have you, or we all identify alternatively to that. The reality is what we bring to the table has to have a bit of emotional quotient to it. Anyway, what I love about this book is she talks about that inner critic and how it talks to us. And she actually has a meditative process in here that you can read and use as a meditation to engage your inner self or your sage or your future self. And it's really about asking your wise self a question. And I actually took that visualization and I put it in a video, and I'm going to put the link up above for you if that's something you're interested in. But it's really about listening to your inner wisdom, your inner voice, and some people call it your inner sage. It's talking about why we have this criticism. She talks about our how we hide ourselves from our leadership and our greatness that we have to offer the world. She talked about the need to disconnect yourself from external validation, because a lot of times us women, I know myself personally, I've spent an entire lifetime trying to get validation from other people in my success. And it's really about, rather than being externally focused, it's about learning to be internally focused and really trusting your gut, your inner sage, your inner self, in helping to guide you to that next level. It's a super powerful book. If you are a woman struggling with imposter syndrome, if you are struggling with your executive role and you're wondering, how you can bring your leadership to the table, seriously, Tara Moore's Playing Big is a fantastic book for you. Or if you know somebody who's new in a leadership role, this would be a perfect gift for them as well. So those are my 3 suggestions for books to help you when you're looking to make major changes and maybe learning to try to navigate that mindset shift piece that you need to take on in order for you to really overcome the fear of change. I got to say that I've read a lot of books this year, and I'm going to continue to read books, so I'll have more books to talk about in the future. But these 3 really are impacting me in very positive ways. I will be rereading Playing Big again, and as you can see, it is completely dog-eared because there's so much information in this book that can help you. I go back to this on a regular basis to talk about, our feelings and how to deal with criticism and what habits we should have, and understanding the notes on how to leap and when to leap and what can come up for us when we're leaping, because she also talks about taking leaps of faith. So anyway, again, these are really great books. I have the links for all 3 down below. Do keep an eye out for future courses and coaching programs, because I will have much more to offer in January, especially as I leave my employee role. I'll have a lot more time dedicated to the company, and so I'll be coming forward with more work and programming in January. I'm super excited to launch some of these products for you, so keep an eye out for that. If you get anything from this channel, you can certainly give it a like and a thumbs up. It does help this channel out, and if you are interested in these books, you can click on the links down below. Again, helps this channel out. I want to thank you for taking the time to be here. I do appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I'm here every week, so subscribe, because I do have both leadership/coaching content on this video, again, with the goal of making you the best you that you can be. So thanks again for watching On the Level Leadership. I'm Tammy, signing off for this week. See you next week.